Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel Tort. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update. The deep philosophy of happiness and sadness. Happiness and sadness. It's a concept that has intrigued humans for centuries. From ancient philosophers to modern psychologists, the exploration of what happiness truly means and how to attain it is an ever-evolving discourse. In this article, we will delve into the deep philosophy of happiness, presenting stories, psychological insights, and philosophical reflections to create a comprehensive understanding of this elusive state of being. Understanding happiness and sadness in multidimensional perspective. Human emotions, particularly happiness and sadness, are complex phenomena deeply rooted in our biology, psychology, and philosophy. These emotions not only shape our daily experiences, but also influence our overall well-being, decision-making, and social interactions. To understand how our brain functions with happiness and sadness, we must explore these emotions through three interrelated lenses: biological, psychological, and philosophical. Biological perspective. From a biological standpoint, emotions are closely tied to neurological processes and the endocrine system. The brain regions primarily involved in regulating emotions include the amygdala, prefrontal cortex, and hippocampus. 1. Amygdala. This almond-shaped cluster of neurons is crucial for processing emotions, especially fear and pleasure. When an individual experiences happiness, the amygdala is activated, resulting in the release of neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin, which are associated with feelings of pleasure and well-being. In contrast, when sadness is encountered, the amygdala might respond differently, negatively impacting these neurotransmitter levels and leading to feelings of despair. 2. Prefrontal cortex PFC. The PFC is responsible for higher-order thinking, decision-making, and emotional regulation. Studies show that a robust PFC activity can help manage emotional responses, enabling a person to find joy even in adverse situations, while reduced PFC activation may correlate with increased feelings of sadness and depression. 3. Hormonal regulation. The endocrine system also plays a role, particularly in how stress influences emotions. The release of cortisol during stress can lead to feelings of sadness or anxiety, while oxytocin, known as the love hormone, enhances happiness and social bonding. Psychological perspective. From a psychological viewpoint, happiness and sadness are part of a broader emotional spectrum that affects individual behaviors, thought processes, and interpersonal relationships. 1. Cognitive appraisal theory. This theory posits that the way we interpret and evaluate situations significantly influences our emotional responses. For instance, two individuals might face the same event but react differently based on their appraisal. One may view it as a challenge leading to happiness, while the other sees it as a threat leading to sadness. 2. The hedonic treadmill. This concept suggests that our pursuit of happiness is often fleeting. As people achieve goals or possess desires, they quickly adapt to the new circumstances, returning to a baseline level of happiness. Conversely, prolonged sadness can often create a more permanent psychological state, where individuals may struggle to return to their previous joyful baseline without intervention. 3. Social connections. Psychological research has shown a strong correlation between social support networks and emotional health. Happiness is often multiplied through shared experiences and relationships, whereas prolonged sadness, particularly in isolation, can exacerbate mental health issues. Philosophical perspective. Philosophically, happiness and sadness raise fundamental questions about the nature of living well and the human experience. 1. Eudaimonia vs. Hedonism. Ancient Greek philosophers differentiated between eudaimonia, a state of flourishing or fulfillment, and hedonism, the pursuit of pleasure. Eudaimonia emphasizes the importance of meaningful activities and relationships, suggesting that true happiness stems from personal growth, purpose, and virtue, rather than mere pleasure. In contrast, the transient nature of hedonism may lead to cycles of happiness and sadness. 2. Existentialism. Existentialist philosophers argue that sadness and suffering are inherent parts of the human condition. The acknowledgement of these feelings can lead to a deeper understanding of oneself and one's place in the world. In this context, embracing sadness may ultimately contribute to the appreciation of happiness, as individuals recognize the duality of life's experiences. 3. Stoicism. Stoic philosophy teaches that we cannot control external circumstances, but can control our responses to them. By cultivating emotional resilience, individuals can achieve a form of inner peace that remains unaffected by the fluctuations of happiness and sadness, fostering a stable sense of contentment. The quest for happiness. Happiness is a universal quest. It's something we all desire, but the path to finding it often feels complex and confusing. Many people think of happiness as an emotion or a fleeting feeling attached to specific events in life. However, it's essential to recognize that happiness is more than just a moment of joy, it's a way of being. To illustrate this, consider a story about two friends, Alex and Jamie. They both graduated from college and landed good jobs. Alex constantly chased after promotions and material wealth, believing these would lead to happiness. In contrast, Jamie focused on meaningful relationships and personal growth. Over the years, Alex became successful but felt an emptiness creeping in, while Jamie, despite earning less, radiated joy and contentment. This story highlights that the pursuit of happiness varies significantly for each individual. Finding balance, the middle way. Another significant philosophical viewpoint comes from Buddhism, which advocates for the middle way, a path between extremes. This means neither indulging in sensory pleasures excessively nor denying oneself the simple joys of life. The Buddhists believe that true happiness comes from mental clarity, acceptance, and a deep understanding of the self. Consider the story of Tom, a corporate executive who constantly worked late hours to climb the corporate ladder. He sacrificed his relationships and well-being for the sake of success. After a health scare, Tom reevaluated his life. He began to meditate and practice mindfulness, realizing that he didn't need to lose himself in work to find satisfaction. By embracing balance, Tom discovered joy not just in professional success, but in time spent with his family and pursuing hobbies that fulfilled him. This reflects the essence of the middle way, finding happiness by avoiding the extremes. The importance of acceptance. Another crucial aspect of achieving happiness is acceptance. In his book, The Happiness Project, Gretchen Rubin discusses how acceptance can contribute to overall well-being. Accepting ourselves and our circumstances allows for a more authentic and fulfilling life. It is not about complacency, but rather acknowledging reality and working with it. Take Sarah's journey as an example. A talented artist, she struggled with perfectionism and constantly compared herself to others in her field. This caused her immense frustration and unhappiness, as she felt her work was never good enough. After learning about the importance of acceptance, Sarah began to appreciate her unique style, rather than striving for an unattainable ideal. By embracing her individuality, Sarah found joy in her creativity, illustrating how acceptance can pave the way for happiness. Cultivating gratitude. Practice gratitude is a vital tool in cultivating happiness. Studies in positive psychology, especially those conducted by Robert Emmons, highlight that expressing gratitude can significantly enhance overall well-being. It shifts the focus from what we lack to what we have, fostering a more positive mindset. Consider the tale of Emma, a high school teacher who felt overwhelmed and unappreciated in her role. After attending a workshop on gratitude, she began a daily practice of writing down 3 things she was grateful for each morning. Initially, small things like a sunny day or a good cup of coffee slowly transformed her outlook. Over time, Emma's heightened sense of appreciation for her life and her students' progress sparked joy that she had previously missed. The connection between happiness and contribution. Happiness is often linked to the idea of contributing to something larger than ourselves. This notion is echoed in many psychological studies, showing that helping others fosters a sense of fulfillment and joy. Psychologist Miley Csikszentmihalyi introduced the concept of flow, where individuals find happiness in actions that are intrinsically rewarding and often involve helping others or engaging deeply in an activity. A story that embodies this idea is that of David, who volunteered with underserved youth in his community. Initially, he sought to help them academically, but he soon found that the interactions brought him incredible joy and purpose. Each time he mentored a student and watched them succeed, David experienced a profound sense of satisfaction. He learned that happiness could stem from meaningful contributions, connecting with others, and sharing his skills. Modern happiness dilemmas. While the pursuit of happiness is timeless, contemporary society introduces unique challenges. Social media, instant gratification, and relentless comparisons often hinder our capacity for contentment. The curated realities presented online can lead to feelings of inadequacy and anxiety. As Manson points out, it is crucial to recognize that not everything is as perfect as it seems on the surface. To counter these modern dilemmas, we can remind ourselves of stories similar to that of Sam. After a particularly challenging year, was bombarded with images of friends seeming to live perfect lives. Rather than succumbing to envy, Sam decided to focus inward. By limiting his social media use and engaging in self-reflection, he recognized that everyone's journey is different, and happiness looks different for each person. This realization helped him find joy in his own experiences without the burden of comparison. Let's summarize all the perspective in short. The interplay between happiness and sadness is a multifaceted experience shaped by biological mechanisms, psychological frameworks, and philosophical considerations. Understanding these dimensions can enhance our awareness of our emotional states and guide us toward a more balanced and fulfilling life. By recognizing how our brains process these essential emotions, we can better navigate the challenges of existence, finding meaning in both our joys and sorrows. The deep philosophy of happiness intertwines ancient wisdom with modern psychological insights, showing that the journey toward happiness is multifaceted and deeply personal. Through stories that reflect our collective experiences, we can grasp the essence of what it means to live a fulfilling life. Happiness is not merely a destination to reach, but a continuous journey of growth, acceptance, contribution, and gratitude. It involves not only the pursuit of one's passions, but also cultivating relationships, engaging with one's community, and contributing to a greater purpose. By embracing our unique paths, practicing acceptance, and prioritizing what truly matters to us, we can all navigate our way to a deeper sense of happiness. As we conclude, let us remember that happiness is not defined by society's standards or the number of likes on our posts, but rather by the connections we forge, the struggles we embrace, and the love we share. In this quest for happiness,